everyone, welcome back to my channel DT Crits. In today's video we're going to cover cost of living or the living expenses in Bangalore. I know with the whole return to office and back to college days coming in, a lot of people are moving cities to pursue their education or their career. So here's what we're going to cover in today's video. We'll talk about the cost of accommodation, cost of food and groceries, cost of transportation, cost of utilities, and overall an average cost of living being in Bangalore. I've lived in Bangalore for the last 25 years, so I think I'm decently capable enough to share all of this information with you based on whatever I've experienced, but definitely do your own first-hand research before you move into any city, as and when required, through multiple sources, people that you know here, etc. Talk to them and just learn from them. But whatever I'm sharing right now is from what I've seen through myself and through my friends as well who've been in rented accommodations. The first thing that you need to understand is that there are several different factors that affect your cost of living in Bangalore or any city for that matter. First being your accommodation. Which area are you going to reside in? Are you going to rent? Are you going to buy, share? All of that matters. The second thing is whether you're going to cook at home by buying groceries and making food at home. Your transportation, whether you plan on, getting yourself a car or a scooter to commute. Your petrol and diesel prices are different. Lastly, when you're coming in here with a family, when you have children, their education, everything else also could play a really big role in the cost of living in itself and how expensive things could be. So these are some things that you need to keep in mind when you're planning or budgeting around how much you're going to spend, or basically whenever you get a career opportunity, you can decide how much of your salary will go into these kind of expenses and how much would you actually be saving. Let's start with accommodation first. Where you live matters a lot, and Bangalore has a lot of options to offer, from PGs to renting apartments or houses to even buying houses maybe if you're a family, and if that's more cost effective for you in saving taxes, then yes, absolutely. Now renting is at the heart of what most people prefer to do in Bangalore. So for starters, if you're somewhere close to the city center, for a 1 BHK it might come around like 18,000 per month, and if you can go up to 3 BHK that you prefer, like shared accommodation with a couple of your friends, that could go anywhere ranging from 44,000 to 50,000 a month for 3 BHK in a very good locality, an apartment, a gated community of sorts. If you move slightly away from the city center, then a 1 BHK can come to you as low as 10,000 to 11,000 or 12,000 per month, and a 3 BHK can be anywhere close to 27,000 rupees to 30,000 rupees a month. At the same time, you can go for PG accommodations, which is paying guest. There are so many options like that already readily available that you can, if you're ready to cut down costs and you really want to save a lot of money that you're making, then this is a good option for you. In like a room, there would be, I guess, 2 to 3 people, and you would be paying around 6,000 to 7,000, or like depending upon the range that you'd prefer. If you're going ahead with 3 people in one single room, then it would somewhere come up to 6,000. If you're like 2 people in a room, then it could be somewhere around like 8,000, etc. And then if you want one room all for yourself, then it could go till 10,000. So that is about the paying guest accommodation here, and it depends again from area to area. What are the localities? Are there a lot of offices in and around? There are a lot of colleges. Then depending upon that, the prices vary. Here's a quick cost rental guide for renting in Bangalore. A 1 BHK can be anywhere from 11,000 to 18,000. A 2 BHK can be anywhere from 12,000 to 25,000. A 3 BHK can be anywhere from 27,000 to 44,000. And a PG can be anywhere starting from 6,000 up until 20,000, depending upon your preferences and the area. And if you want like a studio apartment, again, that's a completely different ball game. Next up is transportation. It's very vital to know how much it could cost you from going from one place, which is where you reside right now, to the place that you're going. It could be either your college or your workplace. That could be like a deciding factor on how much you would have to shell out each month to, commute. One thing everybody knows, and it's cliche that there's a lot of traffic in Bangalore. So if your preferences is to commute in a car or like purchase a scooty or a bike to travel to work and or like college, etc., that's completely upon you. The second option again is to maybe go through a cab like an Uber or an Ola or anything else. You can even take some rental bikes as and when required. Uber and Ola are slightly on the expensive side if you're going a little bit more farther away, but if it's in nearby places, your bare minimum cost can go from like 80 rupees per ride depending upon how close point A to point B is, up until it can go to 150, 250, 300 very easily. And you have the third option, which is of course the public transport of going in like buses, metro trains. You can your bus tickets can range anywhere from like 10 to 20 to 25 rupees depending upon the distance from point A to point B. Again, metro train tickets as well, we have good connectivity now and it's further going to develop with time, so that also has some great connectivity and you can save a lot of time through that. Now let's move on to groceries or food. If you're someone who likes to prepare your own food, you're coming in with your family, friends, you all prefer cooking and save a lot of money, then go ahead for it. It can easily go up from like 1,500 plus up until 3,000 per person depending upon how much to cook at home or eat outside. So that could vary again on your particular preference. Blinkit, you have Dunzo, you have Big Basket, you have Swiggy. So all of these you can order in your groceries and they will bring it right at your doorstep, and that is really affordable right now, and it could of course cost you a little bit of a delivery charge at the point, and then in the future again the prices might go up. It's completely different. So if you're going for a single person, it could be anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 for all of your groceries all through the month. If you're like two people, it would be upwards of 5,000 to 8,000, and again for a family closer to home it would be around 10,000 per month. Someone who wants to cut down on like meal prep and you cannot cook for yourself, PGs have a great option that they come in with food options in itself, that they prepare food in the PG, and you can consume that. If for example you're renting at 6,000 or 8,000, you might have to pay a monthly extra of 2,000 for the meals that they're preparing. Another thing that you can do is, if you don't prefer cooking, then you might have to get someone to cook for you. You can get house help who can help cook. Price of that again varies depending upon area to area and the type of person and the type of cuisines that you'd like them to cook for you. It could be upwards of 2,500 plus up until 5,000 per month. So that is another option. If you're someone who does not prefer any of this and want to eat outside all three meals, then it's going to be supremely a little bit more costly, I would say, depending upon the places that you would like to eat. Again, if you're going in for an Upahara Darshini, or you have those smaller places where you can go have idli, masala dosa, upma, khichdi, whatever you find, that would each dish would rough estimately be around like 50 to 100 ish per meal if you go with just one dish. From there to, if you're going on the expensive side to have a brunch or go for like breakfast clubs, then that each dish that you order could be upwards of 250 plus in those kind of high-end restaurants. So you can go from here up until here depending upon your choice of how much you want to shell out for food. There are other options as well. You can order in through Swiggy and Zomato. It's pretty common. You know the prices as usual. So that's another option that you can look at if you're going for eating food from outside, if you prefer eating food from outside. Alright, next moving on to utilities. Basically your maintenance cost. If you're in like an apartment house, a community, you would have to of course like pay your own electricity bill, you'd have to pay for the combined water bill, your lift charges, your security guard, you'll have to pitch in as part of being in that apartment or like that community as such. So that could easily anywhere range up from, like I'm saying, just about the maintenance cost outside of electricity bill, which you have to pay on your own for your own apartment. Your maintenance cost could be upwards of 1,500 plus in a normal decent apartment, a smaller one, and it could go upwards of like 2,500, 3,000, etc. upwards If you're living in like a bigger community, a very expensive one, then the prices of course go up very easily. Your electricity bill monthly could again vary. It could be from 1500 upwards to 2000 easily. So your Wi-Fi bill, depending upon the service provider, again can be anywhere ranging from 1000 plus, depending upon the plan that you have for your internet connection in your house. So these are some of the other expenses that you'd have to incur, and of course there are a lot more, which is whether you are having someone as a house help for like cleaning, your washing your clothes, putting it up for drying, washing your utensils at home, or the house helps. Monthly pay could be anywhere from 2500 upwards of 3000, 5000, depending upon the services that you are asking of them to do per month. Okay, on the last hand, we have leisure and entertainment. Of course, when you're in a beautiful city like Bangalore, which has so much to offer, the nightlife, the different places that you can visit, restaurants, amazing cuisines that you can have, definitely do keep aside some of your savings to enjoy that part of Bangalore as well. Depends upon how you would like to unwind over the weekend, whether it's going to Cubbon Park, Lal Bagh, going to probably a club, or the weekend with your friends, or like a restaurant brunch. All of that could be slightly on the expensive side, could be upwards of like easily 3000 to 8000, 10,000 per month. You might have to shell out if you would like to have that side of life, like you want to travel to different places, move around, commute, check out different places. Then all of that is on top of all of your extra costs that you already have, so you might have to account some amount of buffer for these kind of activities that I'd say. So definitely don't miss out on that, but just plan for it accordingly. Alright, so let's now just quickly sum up and see what's our final cost looking like if in case you're a single person moving into Bangalore and want to live in maybe a 1 BHK apartment. So let's just quickly say that. So your 1 BHK rent would be around like, let's say 11,000 to 18,000. I would keep it in ranges and then we can look at it in a totalitarian basis at the end. Let's say you're traveling by bus, that would be around like 1,500 plus. And let's keep a buffer of 500 if in case you plan to commute over the weekend via a cab or like the metro. So let's just keep that around to 2,000 to 2,500. Then your electricity bill per month, let's keep it at around 2,000 per month. Then your Wi-Fi expenses could be anywhere from 800-ish to 1,500 range. Then your meals, if you plan on eat outside, could be around 2,000 to 5,000-ish, depending upon the places that you're going to. And if in case you plan to eat in at home by cooking, then your groceries can be anywhere easily from 3,000 rupees per month to 5,000. And this is a typical cost, so this would somewhere come up to 20,000 to 25,000-ish if this is like a decent lifestyle that you plan to live on in Bangalore. If you plan on to save more, you can absolutely do that by staying in a PG accommodation. So if you're going in PG, all of your utilities cost, everything of that sorts would be reduced. If you're going in for an all-inclusive meal plan included in your PG accommodation, then again that will further cut down your cost of eating outside, and you'll probably have to only pay in for your transportation. So you would be able to manage your monthly expenses from like 10,000 to 15,000-ish. If you want to save a lot, then PG would be the best route to go for, the cheapest way to live in Bangalore. Then your mediocre living would be through like a 1 BHK or a shared accommodation with a friend, and live a little bit more spacious life. And then your costlier side would be when you come in with your family, you have siblings, you have friends, you have kids coming in, etc. All of that would be a little bit more higher on the cost side of it. And then you have your luxury living at the next level, which we're not looking at over here. This is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found the information useful. If you have any questions around kind of expenses in Bangalore, then leave them in the comment section down below, and if I have the answer to it, I'd be happy to respond back to you. And good luck to all of those who are coming into Bangalore for either your higher education or your career. Alright, thank you so much. Have a good day. I hate the traffic noise that comes around in the background every single time, but I can't do anything but I have to deal with it. But yes, keeping up with a smile on the face. I don't know if you can hear that. They've started playing music or running something on the mic. Struggles to record just one video. Just one.